Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we are checking out all of the mauler engravings. Now, the maulers are a little bit lackluster compared to what I found in the light bearers, but there's one hero that I'm really excited about in the maulers who I think already is viable and is going to get even better. So I'm really excited to test him. Wait and see, put your guess, who do you think I'm talking about? It's the man Kren. I will get to him. I couldn't believe he's hanging. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay, kicking it off with Brutus, we have this one. He gets an extra bit of attack and haste, 20% extra attack, 3% extra haste, depending on his health. Not the greatest. This one, last gap's triggered. Brutus recovers 800 energy points. He's able to ult really quick. I don't think it's really going to make any difference. Brutus's ult isn't what he's there for. He's there for his immunity and his raw. I don't think it's really going to be a viable thing, but who knows? Let's go check what stats he gets. He does get the magic resistance as well. Next up, we have K-Source. K-Source got shafted. He gets an extra 10% damage on that and an extra little bit of life leech. They really could have helped K-Source out, but he got absolutely boned. I don't even care what stat he gets. It ain't going to be worth it. Crit damage reduction? Are you kidding me? Oh my god, they've just brutalized that, man. I'm so sad. I really do enjoy K-Source. He's got a cool kit, but you know, shafted. Poison enemies now lose health equal to 80% of Verk's. That's trash. This one's interesting. After 20 seconds of battle, Verk will set poison traps in the center of the battlefield and behind himself. Like, this could be kind of handy, but it's too niche to bother investing that far for, in my opinion. I don't think it's really going to be worth it. He does get some crit as well, which is beneficial for him, but I don't think, you know, that extra poisons 20 seconds in is going to be like game changing. Like, it could actually clutch some games, but I don't think he's used enough to warrant getting up to there. Totem Dude, mock duration extended to 3 seconds from 2 seconds, and haste is increased to 60, normal attack speed increased to 40%, up from 40 and 20%, oh no, up from 50 and 30%. Yeah, so 10 increases on both of those. Not the craziest thing. The mock duration could be kind of one worth getting if you use him a lot. We got some crit damage reduction on him as well. Not a massive fan of that. Scregs is interesting. When enemies are within striking range of Screg and dealt damage to him, they will lose 8 haste points for 3 seconds. Ability can be stacked up to 3 times. It's honestly not a bad little debuff to add to Screg's kit for the little investment that it takes to get that one. So I think that one's alright. This one here too, like, I think this is a nice buff to Screg, but I don't know if it's warranted on getting it for the high investment. Going the little iron jaws run across every 6 seconds instead of 8 seconds. Those things are so annoying. I really hope this doesn't apply in campaign against enemy Scregs, because those things just one-shot you and it's terrible. But I think it could be nice, but I probably wouldn't go that far on him to test it. Let's check the stats. What is that? Crit block rate, that's it. Then we have Warwick, cooldown is reduced to 4 seconds from 5. And this one here, damage raised by up to 5% instead of 4%. You know, little things, but I don't think it's really going to make anyone go ham on Warwick or anything like that. He'll still have his little niche position, but that's about it. Some magic resistance on that one. And Tandra's looks interesting. This one's just a straight damage increase, but this one, and Tandra recovers an additional 4% of her max health for every enemy she strikes that is marked with the mark of the wild. If any enemy is unmarked, they will consequently be marked. And so the mark of the wild here, and Tandra attacks an enemy for yada yada yada. The mark accuracy reduced by 80% and energy recovery reduced by 60%. So, you know, it's not a bad extra splashable mark and some extra healing on top. Once again, I don't think it's one that's, you know, going to take priority over some of the other factions that we've seen so far. But we do get some pierce on her as well. Next up, Sophia. So we get a straight damage increase on this one. And this one's interesting. When the enchanted circle disappears, all enemies in the circle are dealt 200% damage and are stunned for 1.5 seconds. It does last 25 seconds. I don't think there's any situation. There might be a niche situation where you will get use out of this, but I don't think, once again, I don't think it's going to be worth it. What do we got? Physical resistance on that one. Some weird stats going on around here. Enemies suffer damage equal to 1.5% of their max health every second, up from 1%. So a little increase on that. This one here, energy recovery of burning enemies is reduced by 20%. That is an added effect. There's no energy recovery in there already. You got the health recovery reduced and stuff. So that's not too bad on Citrana. I know there's some big Citrana fans out there. She is pretty decent, who might invest into that. But once again, the theme of the mauler so far, I don't think it's really going to be worth it, but we do get some crit damage amplification, which ain't too bad on her. Titus, increased movement speed and attack rating effects last for 13 seconds, up from 10, so a little buff on that. This one's an interesting one. I feel like Titus could get some love out of this. When the enemy that Titus is attacking dies, Titus recovers 40% of the health he's already lost, and his haste is increased by 30 points for 6 seconds. Now, 30 points is a decent increase. What's the twins buff is 75, I believe, off the top of my head. So, you know, it's about a third of a twins buff, a bit more than a third. 40%, call it that. 40% of a twins buff. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, but once again, it's a steep investment to get him there. Does get some crit as well. It's not too bad. I actually really like Titus's one. I really wish that was over here. I feel like if that was on the cheap one, I'd really want to get it. But at that high investment, I'm probably going to leave it. Next up, Drez. Drez recovers 120 energy points while he's away from the battlefield. I think at base it's 100 points, so 20 increase on that. This one, while Drez ultimate, when Drez's ultimate deadly ambush deals damage to an enemy he is pursuing. Dude, I struggled through that. Drez's attack rating shall be increased by 3% for 5 seconds. This effect can be stacked by up to 10 times. You can effectively get up to a 30% attack increase. I think this is going to be very, very relevant when we look at things like Abyssal Expedition, but that's about it. I don't think for general play, many people are going to want to go ahead and invest that. But what stat do we get? We do get some life leech on him as well. Moving on from that, we do have the chicken. Now, the chicken one's kind of interesting to me. We get an extra debuff on this. We go to 120 from 35 from 25. This one here, when the maximum number of crit rating points is reached, Skriath's attack rating will be increased by 10 points. Now, the thing about this that I don't know, raises all allies' crit ratings by 0.5 points per second until a maximum of 20 points. Maximum crit rating is increased by 30 points, and then this goes up to 0.8. So when you're looking at 0.8 per second, you're looking at about 35-40 seconds, and then past that, he gets 10% attack increase. Now, is that 10% attack increase every second, or is it just once? If it's every second, it could be a really good, like, you know, you put him in a real stall team and he just ramps up and, you know, his attack ends up being an extra 300%. I don't know, just something I'm thinking about. But if it's just 10%, not worth it at all. If it's a stacking 10%, could be kind of interesting, but still, you know, a tough one to go ahead and jump into. And what do we get? We get some physical resistance on that as well. Anarchy, allied melee heroes have their tenacity increased by 15 points while within range. That's not too bad for a cheap investment. And this one does go up from 5 seconds to 7 seconds for the shield. So I can see some people that use Anarchy a lot, maybe throwing that in, but, you know, besides that, once again, it's the theme of the day. We got crit block rate as well. Okay, here's my man. Dude, it took a long time. I've just been hanging out to talk about Kren because I'm really excited for Kren. All right, each time a landmine explodes, Kren will recover 100 energy points. I think this is really nice. Kren, you just want him to ult as fast as possible. He's obviously not a mage. You can't get the Windbinder and stuff like that. You really just want him to ult because then he gets that CC running. It's amazing. If you can play a synergized team that you can, you know, blow up 3 landmines, he's going to get 300. If you can blow up 400. You get the gist. If it's 1, it's 100. I'm just rambling. But I feel like that's a nice little bonus for cheap investment. But Kren gets better over here. While Kren is using this ability, the damage received from enemies excluding his target is reduced by 50%. I think this is a really nice one for Kren. One of the issues that Kren often runs into is he commits suicide at the start of the battle because he runs forward to shoot an enemy backwards and then he just gets destroyed. I think this could really add some reliability to Kren. It's a heavy investment to do it, but I can see, like, it's one that I really want to test because, like I said, when I often test Kren, it's like, he would be fantastic if he didn't have this ability, because this ability just hinders him so much. He runs forward, gets sniped, and he's dead. This damage mitigation could actually be really, really useful for him. So it's one I wouldn't rush out and do ASAP. I'd wait for some people to test it. Maybe this might be one that we test on Kiasma. I think we might test it on Kiasma. If we get the permission, because I'm really curious to test this. Because Kren, the other thing about Kren is, you know, he's already a decently, he's a proven sort of hero. Like, he can work. He's not in the top. We can be subbed into some of the top teams, but he's not like one of the top 5 carries. But I feel like this really, these two things really improve on an already good kit and could make him actually creep up the ladder in damage dealer status. So I'm really curious to see how Kren goes. I really want to test it on Kiasma, and we do get the extra pierce as well for the stats. And then we have Tali. Fireball 3 has a 100% chance to critical strike to target, and also deals additional damage equal to 10% of the health that Tali has already lost in the battle. I don't know whether this is like 10% of like where her health is now, like how much she's lost. Like if she's, you know what I mean? She's at 30%, it deals damage equal to the 70%, or whether like if she's healed up and then lost more, it like calculates all across the battle. Don't know. Not too sure. Could be good if it's like that. If not, it's not the greatest. 10 seconds after casting Pyromancy, the proportion of current health is ignored, and Tali, sorry, I always say Tali. Tali will always be at her most powerful state. So after 10 seconds, she doesn't matter where her health is, she gets the 50 and the 30. Pretty much it. And I think that is, no, we've got one more. Okay, value of the shield increase. This dude's really tanky with that shield as well, so get an increase in this one. And this one, granted, oh wait, we didn't check Tali's stats, did we? Physical, what was that? Physical reduction. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it says. I get so mixed up with the letters. Anyway, value of shield increased on this one. Rip, go back. And this one here, Granite's shield can be reset more frequently. The low's health falls can be reset as much as once every 8 seconds, up from 12 seconds. You know, I don't think anyone's really going to do this one either. It's a cool little buff. If it was just in there as a skill up, but it's a bit heavy investment to go ahead and get it. And we do get some magic resistance as well. But that is going to be it for the maulers. I think the pick of the pack is definitely Kren for me. You let me know what you guys think. Like I said, the chicken one could be kind of interesting. Some of it kind of interesting, like Verk, Satrana, and Tandra, but I just don't think they're impactful enough to go for. But I feel like Kren is the one out of the maulers that I think might get picked up a bit. But let me know what you guys think. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.